Well, hello to you, my YouTube tribe. Welcome to my channel, Auntie Essie's Chat Cafe. This is Auntie Essie with another Spirit-filled Sunday. And how is the Spirit stirring you this day? How are you stirring the Spirit? And in what ways is the Spirit calling you? And in what way are you calling Spirit to you? How are you moving in the Spirit? And how is Spirit moving you? For this Spirit-filled Sunday, I would like to share with you this book by Bishop Desmond Tutu. It's called God is Not a Christian and Other Provocations. Because it's the last couple of days of Black History Month, I thought I just finish off Black History Month by honoring people like Bishop Tutu, who contribute so much to the world. So I'm going to be reading from chapter 2 of his book. Chapter 2 is talking about Ubuntu, which is Ubuntu is a South African view of what the world is. In the South African world view, they have something called Ubuntu. So I will be reading chapter 2 of Bishop Tutu's book to you. Okay. And this idea of Ubuntu is on the nature of human community. So I will start here. In our African, I believe this is German or Afrikaan, so I can't quite pronounce it. It's Chong. Okay. Our worldview, we have something called Ubuntu. In Xhosa, we say Mtu Ngumtu na Bantu. This expression is very difficult to render in English, but we could translate it by saying a person is a person through other persons. We need other human beings for us to learn how to be human, for none of us come fully formed into the world. We would not know how to talk, walk, think, eat as human beings unless we learn how to do these things from other human beings. For us, the solitary human being is a contradiction in terms. Ubuntu is the essence of being human being. It speaks of how my humanity is caught up and bound up inextricably in yours. It says not as Descartes did, I think therefore I am, but rather I am because I belong. I need other human beings in order to be human. The completely self-sufficient human being is subhuman. I can be me only if you are fully you. I am because we are, for we are made for togetherness, for family. We are made for complementarity. We are created for a delicate network of relationships, of interdependence with our fellow human beings, with the rest of creation. I have gifts that you don't have, and you have gifts that I don't have. We are different in order to know our need for each other. To be human is to be dependent. Ubuntu speaks of spiritual attributes such as generosity, hospitality, compassion, caring, sharing. You could be affluent in material possessions, but still be without Ubuntu. This concept speaks of of how people are more important than things, than profits, than material possessions. It speaks about the intrinsic worth of persons, not as dependent on extraneous things such as status, race, creed, gender, or achievement. In traditional African society, Ubuntu was coveted more than anything else, more than wealth as measured in cattle and the extent of one's land. Without this quality, a prosperous man, even though he might have been a chief, was regarded as someone deserving of pity and even contempt. It was seen as what ultimately distinguished people from animals, the quality of being human being and also so humane. Those who had Ubuntu were compassionate and gentle. They used their strength on behalf of the weak, and they did not take advantage of others. In short, they cared, treating others as what they were, human beings. If you lack Ubuntu, in a sense, you lack an indispensable ingredient of being human being. You might have had so much of the world's goods. You might have had position and authority, but if you had no Ubuntu, you did not amount to much. Today, Ubuntu is still greatly admired, sought after, and cultivated. Only someone to whom something drastic has happened could ever say, as a South African government minister once said, that the death of Steve Biko, the death of a fellow human being, left him cold. That minister had lost his humanity or was well on the way to doing so. Westerners have made spectacular advances largely because of their personal individual initiative. They have made remarkable technological advances, for example, yet that progress has come at a huge cost. The West's emphasis on individualism has often meant that people are lonely in a crowd, shattered by their anonymity. This is what makes it possible for people to pass by on the other side while someone is, say, being gang raped. The passerby simply do not want to become too involved. People in the West have been brought up in a culture of success, where stomach ulcers become status symbols. This is an obsession with achievement, and it seems it does not matter in what you succeed so long as you do succeed. The worst thing that can happen, it appears, is to fail, and that culture easily dismisses people as expendable, discardable, when, because they are poor or unemployed, they are judged to have failed. Ubuntu teaches us that our worth is intrinsic to who we are. We matter because we are made in the image of God. Ubuntu reminds us that we belong in one family, God's family, the human family. In our African worldview, the greatest good is the communal harmony. Anything that subverts or undermines this greatest good is ipso facto wrong, evil. Anger and desire for revenge are subversive of this good thing. Do you agree? Do you agree that Ubuntu is essential to being human? And in the climate that we are in, where we are so, or the powers that be are so focused on differentiating between us, that you belong here, you don't belong here, you look like this, so therefore you're less than. This was one of the reasons that I chose to read this chapter, and also because it's written by Bishop Tutu, who has spent his whole life fighting for and professing and practicing Ubuntu in every part of the world, not just in his native South Africa. This, for me, are the reasons why we are human. Ubuntu. So I would love to hear what you think. Do you think Ubuntu is essential to our survival? If the current powers that be, the trend across the globe of xenophobia, if people truly have Ubuntu, would that be possible? And how can we bring Ubuntu about to turn the tides of xenophobia back to seeing each person as having worth, that we all belong in the same family, the human family, God's family. So I will read this one more time. Ubuntu, on the nature of human community. In our African worldview, we have something called Ubuntu. In Xhosa, we say umtu, umtu, na bantu. This expression is very difficult to render in English, but we could translate it by saying a person is a person through other persons. We need other human beings for us to learn how to be human, for none of us come fully formed into the world. We will not know how to walk, talk, think, to eat as human beings unless we learn how to do these things from other human beings. For us, the solitary human being is a contradiction in terms. Ubuntu is the essence of being human. It speaks of how my humanity is caught up and bound inextricably with yours. It says, not as Descartes did, I think, therefore I am, but rather I am because I belong. I need other human beings in order to be human. The completely self-sufficient human being is subhuman. I can be me only if you are fully you. I am because we are, for we are made for togetherness, for family. We are made for complementarity. We are created for a delicate network of relationships, interdependence with our fellow human beings, with the rest of creation. I have gifts that you don't have, and you have gifts that I do not have. We are different in order to know our need for each other. To be human is to be dependent. Ubuntu speaks of spiritual attributes such as generosity, hospitality, compassion, caring, sharing. You could be affluent in material possessions, but still without Ubuntu. This concept speaks of how people are more important than things, than profits, than material possessions. It speaks about the intrinsic worth of persons, not as dependent on extraneous things such as status, race, creed, gender, or achievement. In traditional African society, Ubuntu was coveted more than anything else, more than wealth as measured in cattle and the extent of one's land. Without this quality, a prosperous man, even though he might have been a chief, was regarded as someone deserving of pity, even contempt. It was seen as what ultimately distinguished people from animals, the quality of human being and also humane. Those who had Ubuntu were compassionate and gentle. They used their strength on behalf of the weak, and they did not take advantage of others. In short, they cared, treating others as what they were, human beings. If you lack Ubuntu, in a sense, you lack an indispensable ingredient of human being. You might have had so much of the world's goods, and you might have had position and authority, but if you had no Ubuntu, you did not amount to much. Today, Ubuntu is still greatly admired, sought after, and cultivated. Only someone to whom something drastic has happened could ever say, as a South African government minister once said, that the death of Steve Biko, the death of a fellow human being, left him cold. That minister had lost his humanity or was well on the way to doing so. Westerners have made spectacular advances because of their personal individual initiative. They have made remarkable technological advances, for example, and yet that progress has come at a huge cost. The West's emphasis on individualism has often meant that people are lonely in a crowd, shattered by their anonymity. This is what makes it possible for people to pass on by the other side where someone is, say, being gang raped. The passerby simply do not want to become too involved. People in the West have been brought up in a culture of success, where stomach ulcers becomes status symbols. There is an obsession with achievement, and it seems it does not matter in what you succeed, so long as you do succeed. The worst thing that can happen, it appears, is to fail, and that culture easily dismisses people as expendable, discardable, when because they are poor or unemployed, they are judged to have failed. Ubuntu teaches us that our worth is intrinsic to who we are. No matter we matter because we are made in the image of God. Ubuntu reminds us that we belong in one family, God's family, the human family. In our African worldview, the greatest good is communal harmony. Anything that subverts or undermines this greatest good is ipso facto wrong, evil. Anger and a desire for revenge are subversive of this good thing. I'm going to read the last paragraph again. Ubuntu teaches us that our worth is intrinsic to who we are. We matter because we are made in the image of God. Ubuntu reminds us that we belong in one family, God's family, the human family. In our African worldview, the greatest good is communal harmony. Anything that subverts or undermines this greatest good is ipso facto wrong, evil. Anger and desire for revenge are subversive of this good thing. So, my tribe, that is our Sunday spirit for this Sunday. I truly love to hear your thoughts, so please remember to comment down below. And thank you so much for watching. This is Auntie Essie saying goodbye for now and stay blessed.